last several years down here in the south, and we like to fish these deeper lakes. Catch these beautiful crappie like this one right here. Not much movement to them. They're so cold. When I grab this fish, he's ice cold. But this is what we're looking for. We're using that Matrix Mini. He's got that one choked down pretty good. We fish these deep lakes when it's really cold like this. And we fish all over down here for crappie during the crappie season. A lot of times we're off the West and East Pearl. Right now that's super high as that big freeze had a lot of rain and snow mixed in with it, so that's high. So we're not messing with that. And some of the areas that we really like that are shallower, we typically fish those on the warmer days. But today's kind of nice, but the water temperature's in the low 50s, high 40s, very cold. So we're fishing 15 to 20 foot of water, vertical jigging these beautiful fish right here. Oh, up we go. Sometimes in the wintertime, when we're targeting those crappie, oh, it broke me right there. Just using some light 6-pound tests. But in the wintertime, when we're jigging those crappie deep, sometimes you run into these guys in them way deep in the bayou, in the lake. And bass love these Matrix Minis just like the crappie do. Let this guy go. See you later, dude. Tie this back on and see if we can get another bass or crappie.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Oh. The legend's first fish of the day. It's a miracle. It's a perch, a bluegill.
So we went from crappie to bass to bluegill. Old Matrix Mini, catching a little bit of everything. Good eating fish right there.
Hurling now. Hurling. That's a good drop. That's a big bull freaking brim. Big bluegill kid. Look at that hammer. Holy moly! Look at the hammer. Jeez.
Yeah, baby. That's what we're looking for. You can see how these crappie are barely, look at him. I'm gonna let him in the water. Well, they're barely moving. They're so cold. Like I said before, this water temperature is freezing, but right now we're mixing it up. You know, we're fishing for crappie. This is the targeted species right now. But with this cold water, it's brought all the species off the bank. And the bass, the brim, everything seems like it's favoring the middle of this lake here because it's got that 10 to 20 foot of water and they're coming off the bank. You know, we've caught some really big perch today, some bluegill, some really nice crappie, and some really beautiful bass, all way off the bank in the middle. So what you want to do when you're fishing the dead of the winter, sometimes if water temperatures get below that 50-degree range, a lot of times they're going to come off the bank and get dead in the middle of the deepest parts of the estuary. All right, let's go over the setup here. Today, we're using a Blue Horizon Matrix Mini. The Mini comes in 5 colors. They're all great. Colors just kind of up to you or the estuary that you're fishing. We got it on a 1/8 ounce Golden Mini jig head. This is a specialty jig head that we like to use for the Mini. It does not have a shank on it at all. The Mini's a very durable plastic, and that way it fits it really nice. Very slender bait, fantastic little lure. Then I like to use anywhere from a 4 to an 8 pound fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is extremely important when you're crappie, you're sac-a-lait fishing. They have very good vision, big eyes, they see very well. You need to go to a fluorocarbon. I have it tied to a white nanofill. This is something that we're making right now. We got some prototypes of it, and I like to use that white nano. It's very sensitive. I like white, that way when you cast it out there, you can see it very easy on your eyes, because when you're fishing this deep, deep water, not only do you need to be able to feel the bite, you need to also be able to see it and do a lot of line watching. So it really, really helps to have that white braid. So we're fishing this super deep water. When that little 1/8 ounce hits the water, it's a good 15 to 20 count, as you saw how long it took me before I began my retrieve back to the boat. So you wanna, when you're basically that 1/8 ounce, it's gonna sink about a foot every second or more. So if you're fishing 15, 20 foot of water, you're talking like a 15 to 20 count before the bait hits the bottom. And you always want that bait to travel through the whole water column and get to the bottom before you begin your retrieves. And we just like to hop it off the bottom, and these bites are very subtle. It's not the biggest fish in the world, obviously. They're not the most ferocious. So when you're fishing for a 10 to 14 inch fish with light gear like this, you better have some really sensitive line, sensitive gear, and pay very close attention looking for those subtle strikes. Feels like a perch.
Oh, that's a good bluegill.
Nice bluegill. Like I said before, we have caught some monster bluegill. We've caught some beautiful crappie, some beautiful bass on another day of fishing deep in a deep man-made lake. Oh, we're gonna bring this one home, fry him up. Fishing super deep, 15 foot of water, 20 foot of water, freezing cold as water temperatures get down here for us, using the Matrix Mini from MatrixShad.com. So, hope you enjoyed this episode of DockSide TV. If you want to get your hands on some Matrix Minis, try out your hand on pan fishing, make sure to subscribe to the Matrix Bait Box, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, good fishing.